Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I've been missing for a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We had a boiler leak, and the room I do all my crafting in is the room that the boiler was in, and it took ages to get stuff fixed. So you know what it's like. The entire contents of your airing cupboard seem to fill a whole room, and that meant engineers coming and going as well. So I haven't been able to do resin in here, so I basically just had to have a break from creating stuff for a couple of weeks. So feeling refreshed, loads of ideas, and I'm ready to kind of hit the ground running again. So this video, basically I was in Poundland last week and I needed some new Crocs. Now I know that these are ugly and people hate them, but I have mobility problems and I can't always bend. These are ideal because they're waterproof. I can flip my slippers off, put these on, they grip really well. So, you know, for my needs, they're absolutely perfect. Now, obviously real Crocs, these are not. These are from the Pound shop. I am a size 3, so these were from the children's section for £4. I quite like the colour, couldn't resist. Now, I've been wearing Crocs for years because, as I say, they really suit my needs really well. But one thing I've never got into is Crocs charms. But I decided I want to jazz these up. I normally buy black Crocs. That's all I ever have. But these are blue. They didn't have black. So it's forced me out of my comfort zone. But it made me think I can make my own shoe charms. And I've got celestial molds. Obviously, being an astronomer, they're going to have to be stars. Now I already have a load of celestial stuff made, so it was just a case of finding a way of getting these onto the shoes. So it turns out you can buy the blank things, the little shoe charm blanks. So the fat bit is the bit that goes through the hole, and then you stick whatever you want to use onto the small bit. Now some of the holes in these are a bit bigger around the edge, but I've figured out that if I stick 2 together it'll work. So my thought process is use some of these celestial objects, stick them on, and I can have some stars, clouds, moons, etc. Now I technically already have enough to do this, but some of these have got like a pearlescent white mica powder on them, some don't. Some are resin, some are polyurethane, that really doesn't matter. But this pearlescent finish is beautiful, and I think that my slight OCD tendencies are going to be offended when I look down and see the difference between these two, for example. So I actually prefer the pearlescent. If I'm going to go out properly and do it, you know, all in. So I think that pearlescent just adds a really lovely little bit of sparkle, not sparkle, but a bit of shine, a bit of kind of just, it makes them look almost wet and a little bit celestial. I just really like it, and I prefer it so much from the flat white. I do like the flat white, but if I'm going to have flat white, I want all of the charms to be that, and I really don't have enough of that. So I've still got a little bit of polyurethane resin, which cures in, like, demold in about 5 or 10 minutes. So I have a little bit of that. So what I'm going to do is dust my celestial molds. So I have this one, it's the sort of, not these with the hole in, I'm not as keen on those, but a couple more of these stars, maybe one of the really small moons, and on this one possibly another one of these moons and some of these stars. I think I'm good on clouds, but if I have resin left over, I'll just pour it in there. So this stuff heats up and you have to work really, really quickly, and these molds are kind of fiddly, so I'm going to do it in small batches, and if I need to make more I will. I can probably get away with a small batch, to be honest, because I have quite a few of these already. While that is curing and get ready to demold, I'm going to UV resin a couple of these together, so I've got some larger ones, and then I think I am going to try to glue them on with UV. I don't know if it's going to work, but these are translucent, so I'm going for these ones rather than the black. That way hopefully the light can get through. And yeah, so this is like a seriously long intro. Sorry, most people's videos are done by now, so I'm going to stop waffling. So I'm going to dust my mica powder first, get the polyurethane in, and that can be curing. Then I can move on to futzing around with all this other stuff, which, you know, I'm actually really excited about this. I feel like I've suddenly regressed to being 5 years old, but you know what? Crocs are fairly ugly. If I've got to wear them, why not put my stamp on them? That's my thinking. So let's get started. I'm using this silver white mica powder, which came in a set. So my tripod's broken, so my phone's at a weird angle and I can't do anything about it. So this is just like a hint of silver. It just adds that nice little shimmer, which I think is really beautiful. So I'm going to dust the mould and just make sure I've got extra ones dusted, just in case I have too much of the polyurethane. These little pieces don't take very much at all. They're quite small, and I kind of need the fairly small ones for my shoes because my feet are a size 3. There isn't really room for a huge charm on there. Plus, I think they'll catch on my clothes, catch on something. I don't know. Never had shoe charms before, so it's a learning process.
So to mix polyurethane, you put equal parts of part A and B. By weight, you measure it on a scale, stir it frantically for about 30 seconds, then get it in the mould because it starts to go off really quickly. And I was dilly-dallying doing this. You've got to be fast. It's very fluid when you first pour it, but it starts to get gloopy very quickly. So you have to work fast.
Okay, I'm going to leave that to cure for a bit. I've got some trimming to do. Massively messed that up. Polyurethane's so stressful. There we go. You can see how fast that's curing. Don't even need to time lapse it. I'm having a problem with the cap on the bottle of my polyurethane. One of them's got really gummed up, and I've got so little left. I'm just going to use what's left and just pour it into some ammonite moulds, and then I'll be back to carry on with this project. I've left these longer than I intended, so I may have a harder cleanup job than I hoped. These are all stuck together. Oh no. Okay, we can clean this up. That's okay. I scraped over it so the overspill is thin and should be easy enough to remove. Wasn't supposed to be one giant polyurethane sandwich, but that's what we got. Okie dokie, see what I did with these. Cool, those stars are fiddly, so I'm glad they've turned out okay. Alright, I'm going to tidy up. Okay, I've split them into two halves. There's pretty much the same for each side. I'm going to try to resist the whole symmetrical left and right shoe thing, but I might not be able to. So I've got my little things ready to kind of glue onto the back. I've got a vague idea of a couple of the things that I might want on the bigger holes in my shoe, so I'm going to do those first because I think they're going to need two. Oh, actually there might not be room for two of these. Oh, hang on, it's that way up. Yeah, they're going to have to be done like that, so I'll do them one at a time. I'll spot cure with my little torch, then I'm going to put them all under the lamp because I want to make sure they're really, really good and cured before they go anywhere near my shoes, because I'll be walking down the road and my moons will fall off, and that's not a good situation. So I'm going to do the slightly larger ones first. So definitely one of the clouds and probably the bigger of the stars if I can. We'll need that glued on, so I'm just going to hope for the best here. A little dot. Just do one on that one. So one of the clouds is definitely going to need two. So I'll spot cure those first. Then pop the other one on.
So once I'd spot cured everything with my little torch, I then put them in two separate groups. I put them under the nail lamp for a total of 9 minutes just to make sure everything was really, really well cured. Then I popped them through the holes and arranged them, tried to not make them symmetrical on each foot. And are you ready to see what they look like? I I love them. I wore these on Tuesday, and every time I looked down at my feet, I was just grinning. I don't care that most people hate Crocs, and I don't care that these make me look like I'm 5 years old. Right now I need a serotonin hit, and these were it. This is not my usual vibe. I don't know what's come over me, but anything celestial I'm here for, as you all know already if you've followed me for a while. I just think they're adorable. I think it's a really good way of jazzing up a pair of very functional, quite ugly shoes, and they're very unique now, and I have a bag with loads more blanks, so I can make loads more of these in different designs if I want to. So massive thanks for watching. Take care everyone, see you in the next video. Bye for now.